Are you ready for this? I don't know if you're ready for this because it's a little dramatic. And I'm also going to tell you what I think at year end now. Is it worth your investment? Is this worth your money at the end of year now that we've gone through all of this? Merry Christmas Eve, everybody! Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a yearly favorite video. I love doing this video every year. This is my best and worst of BoxyCharm for 2023. I can't believe we're here already, but we are, and I'm honestly excited about it. This year is so different than any other year, and I know that I have probably said that before because it was true at the time, but you know, life changes, we evolve, and so has our subscription boxes, as we have seen through this year specifically. There was an acquisition this year that actually pushed out such massive changes, bigger than we have ever seen with BoxyCharm, because now they are, part of IPSY. The products that I have in front of me are, I don't want to say slim, but less than I've definitely had in previous years. However, I do think some of our more recent past years have been pretty light as well. So I'm not totally surprised, but I will say the quality of what is in front of me for my best ofs is outstanding. However, y'all have seen this year, I did so many declutters. Declutters were happening left, right, center, because I don't want to store things in my beauty space that I'm not using. That's pretty much my shtick here. If you are new, I don't hang on to a lot of things. So what we're gonna do now is, if you are new here, I am the originator of the best and worst of BoxyCharm. I started it all the way back in 2016, I think. Even Yosef, the original owner of BoxyCharm, acknowledged that I was the first ever to do best and worst, and now a lot of people do it, and I love that because there's so much variety in the products. I'm gonna let you know, based off what I received, what were my bests and worsts for the entire year. And like I said, I didn't keep anything though that I'm not really using, so I'm going to be throwing some things up here on the screen as well for you. And again, these are my personal preferences, so you may have something that you love and that's awesome, you use it. My skin is fickle, my hair is fickle, so today we're gonna dive right in. Grab your tea, grab your snack, grab your festive Sprite, get comfy, let's do this together. Cheers! Going all the way back to January, I started at the top. Because I didn't have cards throughout the whole year, which I'm still really bummed about, that's probably my biggest worst. I give myself the luxury of changing that through this video if I need to, but not having the cards, as a consumer, but also as a content creator that does this video every year for you, that's my big gripe. So I had to go back through a lot of my footage. So let's go all the way back. And I have to tell you, the thing that I really, really love and is definitely one of my top bests of 2023 is a skincare item. This is the Elemis toner. I have clearly loved and used this quite a bit this year. This is the rehydrating ginseng toner. I have loved this. So this comes with a little spray top, which is nice, and I've used it occasionally like that, but for the most part, I take the top off, use a cotton round, and use it all over my face. I think this did a beautiful job with my skin this year, and I had some flare-ups about middle of the year because I was trying so much skincare, and this was one of the base products I knew I could go back to that I could trust with my super sensitive skin to make everything look tight, clean, fresh. This was a huge, huge win for me this year. Love it. All right, I feel like this next product I didn't shut up about quite a bit, at least through the first half of the year. And then I felt like you guys probably knew I was loving it, so I kind of held off on talking about it so frequently. But y'all, I'm still using this every day. This changed the way I start my day every day. This is the Better Skin Co. Eye Bright Now Serum. It's like an oil, and I honestly didn't know what to do at first. Thank goodness for you guys. You guys were the ones that told me, yes, it's an oil, but don't worry. You could split half a drop between each under eye in the mornings, and it will brighten your under eyes like no other. And I had a favorite that I was already using for under eye brightening, so I was a little skeptical. But you were right. I listened to you because you guys are so smart and I love learning from you guys too. And this was a holy grail product for me this year. I have been babying it because I was worried I was going to go through it super fast because I kind of am. Some people I know have already used this up, so I'm really glad that I've been able to use this kind of sparingly. I am about down to here on this little baby, but I have to say that it is because it is so good. I just do a little drop underneath the eyes, and it is a lovely dream. It brightens up under the eyes. It brightens up hyperpigmentation, imperfections on the face. It was truly like a, what's another word for holy grail? I mean, this just really saved my skin, and I did a lot of beach days this year, so it's not like I was always super protective of my skin, and this changed the game for me. Love, love, love. I will repurchase this. This I will repurchase for sure. So I don't have a lot of the worst ofs, as I mentioned. And okay, in January, I got that Kesar Goo. First of all, the name. Who's gonna name something Kesar Goo and think that it's gonna land on a best of? I mean, I'm sure somewhere it's happened. But for me, that product was super tacky, sticky, hardly ever dried down. I gave it multiple tests. I even was like watching my footage going, I remember the name as like such a negative thing, but I'm like, but why again? And then I just had this flashback when I was watching my video going, oh, it was just not sitting on the eyes. It wasn't sitting on the face well. It claimed to be this like multi-use product, and quite frankly, 'twas not. It wasn't even a single-use product for me. That had to go.
No.
So I have everything written down here in my little book, and I have to say, I feel like Santa a little bit. I'm seeing who's on the nice and naughty list, because March was a moment. So February was when the announcement went out that there was a big change coming, and we were a little like, what is this? A lot of us were doing like polls. We were talking about it in my comments section on Instagram, in my community tab. What's happening? And a lot of us guessed correctly that the merge was happening with IPSY, and unfortunately we were going to be like losing an old friend, which was a little hard to swallow, but at the same time I was honestly a little ready to see what was going to happen, because we've been so unhappy for quite some time once the merge had happened like 2 years prior, that it's like, okay, we've got to have something happen here, right? We've got to have something dramatic change for us to enjoy the BoxyCharms again. So March, that following month, was when we realized this was the last BoxyCharm. So I was a little sentimental. However, I didn't like anything in the main box. The BoxyCharm itself, I have nothing listed for a best of. Doesn't mean I didn't like some of the products, but were they noteworthy to discuss now at the end of the year? No, they weren't. I did have a worst though. Does that count? If you still have and love this product, I'm happy for you, because I wanted to like it, but it was such a disappointment that I was just like on this high of being like, it's the last one. It's gonna be like, they're gonna go out on a bang, and they went out on a, The Ace Beauté, I'm gonna assume this was intended to be a contour quad. They called it the Sculpt Face Palette, and I mean, they were calling it like a bronze sculpting palette, but really it was so dark and it was a creamy product. I do like creams more now than I did at that time. However, I have to say the consistency did not look like it was going to be good. I watched videos. I watched a lot of things just saying like, should I make this work, or should I just gift it to a friend that I know would use it more than me? I don't like to waste if I can avoid it. So that was a product that I ended up just gifting away after seeing a lot of reviews from people with similar skin to me, just saying that it wasn't their cup of tea. They weren't going to use it. And honestly, we're not contouring the way we were in like 2016. So like if that product had come out a couple of years prior, I could have seen us falling in love with that as being a nice way to sculpt the face when we were doing all of that full face makeup with the under contour on top contour. It was like a whole thing. We're not doing that anymore, and that's a lot of extra work. So that was a worst for me, out of disappointment, but also just like where we are with makeup. But the Luxe box, I actually really got some products I liked. I really love that we saw Drunk Elephant in the box at that point. It was a scalp like product, so I actually used that today with my hair, and I think it did a pretty good job. The first time I tried it, I don't know if I just didn't get it all out. I couldn't really say I was in love with it right after trying it because I feel like it did not help my hair. But today I used it this morning before I was doing all of the fluff and tuff that I was doing with my hair. And I think it really helped my scalp because I do have scalp eczema. Actually, a lot of people do. So I can't say that that's the best for me, but it's just more that the brand was in the box. I got so excited. And some brushes that are dirty today because I do use them and love them are these LYS brushes. I mean, again, they're dirty because I love them and use them. I love the bristles. I love how I use one of these with foundations, one of them for powders. I think these are great, substantial, feel like super bougie quality. I love them. Definitely was when I saw they were in this list from this year. I was like, oh yeah, definitely a fave. Another face palette was in that Luxe box that unfortunately a lot of us did not like. This was from Iconic London and it was like a face palette with a lot of, they called it a lip and cheek product. Usually the multi-use products don't work for me for multi-use. Usually they'll either lean one way or sometimes not at all. And that was the case here. The product seemed really, really sticky and tacky. I didn't like how it felt on my lips at all, but I did try it. I gave it the old college try, and it was honestly just too uncomfortable, drying. I just don't really think it's meant for lips personally, or at least not mine. I will say the blush, I really wanted it to work because you had a lot of options in there, but it was too tacky, sticky, and I do have other creams that I do like for blushes that I actually have in my favorites, believe it or not. It's true, but this one wasn't one of them. That had to go, that got decluttered. In between this month and the next month, IPSY was really trying to show some love to us content creators because this is the stage where we started to see something different than we had seen with BoxyCharm as a content creator. They were actually like trying to communicate with us or show us a little bit of extra care, which is nice, but I also was not going to be bought. I wasn't going to allow like anything that they were going to do to kind of like woo us into the program to work with them versus BoxyCharm sway any of my reviews, which I hope you've noticed through this year because I'm still kind of brutal sometimes. But I have to say, like I said, we saw Drunk Elephant in the previous month and it was a brand new brand of Boxy, so I knew that that was really more the IPSY influence of them being like, we gotta wow our customers. So a gift that they sent us were two products that I'm just like, I literally Googled them to see how much they'll be when I have to buy them again because they're so good, and I was like, I can't lift up my jaw because it's so pricey. We got some more Drunk Elephant, and you guys, I love these. I use these every night. Well, not every night because I am trying some other skincare and I didn't want to go through them too quickly, but I've been sick the past 2 weeks. You might still hear it in my nose. This double whammy has been saving my skin from looking like I'm crazy sick or just making me look dull and dry and breaking out. I have the F-Bomb Water Facial, and then over here is the TLC Framboos Night Serum. Framboos Glyconic Night Serum. So darn good. I really focused like up here with that product because I was seeing some hyperpigmentation. I do have a new beauty mark over here that kind of like popped up this year for me, and it has kept my skin super tight, but not too tight. Toned, even looking. I'm not having any massive breakouts. I'm not drying out. I love these so much. And the TLC is crazy expensive. I mean, this is expensive too, but I was like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Huge wins for me this year. And this was really when I was like, okay, maybe this merge will go better than I thought. But again, you can't buy me, and I'm still brutally honest. So here's the deal about April. April was the month that I got my first like introduction to IPSY because it was the bag and the BoxyCharm, but it was still coming in the IPSY box. So we were like, who is this? What's happening? Where's the call from the house coming from? Like, who is this brand right now? We were still like in that flux time. So being on a roll for April, what we got was the bag. introduced to the bag again. I hadn't had the bag in a really long time, and the BoxyCharm box that looked like IPSY. But we were still on a roll with the Drunk Elephant. Like, they were really being like, we're gonna press out the good stuff right up front to, you know, show them we care about them and that this subscription is now elevated. So I got introduced to something that it then made me go buy something else from this brand. Just let me tell you about it. This is the Oh Blues Rosy Drops. You may be familiar with my huge mess up with this. I didn't understand what it was at first. I mean, and that's on me. It said in the directions you could put it with skincare, and that for some reason was the only thing that registered in my brain. I was like, it has to go with skincare. And then it was patchy and it wasn't looking good. And I was like, this is not the Drunk Elephant I have heard of. Everyone raves about this. I didn't treat it like a liquid blush. I treated it like a skincare item because I saw it also had skincare in it. So I was just confused. It was a newbie problem. I was learning. So I was really excited when I tried it by itself because y'all were so sweet in the comments. You don't judge me. You're just like, oh, Nichole, you're so cute. Try it just as a blush. Just as a blush. And that's why, again, we're friends and I trust you because you don't make fun of me when I make a mess up. Because you still can use it with skincare. I just didn't do it the right way, apparently. I ended up really discovering how this brand was elevating not only my makeup game a little bit, but my skin. Now, as far as blush goes, I know you guys don't believe me, or at least some of you don't when I say it, but I'm not 100% a blush girl. I have warmed up to blush over the past few years. You are absolutely right. But when it comes to something like this, I could take or leave it, also because I would say the shade on this is a bit, I don't know, too baby doll pink for me, maybe? My skin tone is a little bit more on the neutral side. So for me, this kind of just comes out a little bit of like a baby pink shade, as you can see here. It's really nice though, but maybe not my favorite shade for my skin tone. So while I do like this, I do find I have to put something, usually a powder on top to kind of like set it, but shift the color a little bit. But I do still enjoy it. So it is still in here in one of my bests for the brand, but also it introduced me to the following product that I bought myself that I'm just gonna tell you about as a bonus. It went viral this year for a reason. It's my Bronzy Drops. These changed my game. This product, I've actually moved from my bronzer section up into more my face tints, because this is something I'm really loving as a glowy product for just all over my skin. I usually do, like I said, I did have some beach days, but I SPF the snot out of my face. Like, it goes full 50 on my face. One time I found a 75 SPF and I put that on there. I know it probably didn't really do much more than the 50, but still. I love this. I think it does a beautiful job warming up the face. It also has a lot of good skin benefits. I use this as like a contour when it started to get a little bit more pale out. I love it. I think this is great, and I love that that other product introduced me to the line so I could try more things. Love, love, love. Also, something that I received that month, I thought I was going to hate it. I thought this was going to be kind of like an old school product that I had seen like my mom use in like the 80s and 90s, but it's so not, and it's so next level good. This is very, very messy because I've used it up and some stuff got stuck in the cap somehow over the summer. I need to find another one. I've gone to like 2 or 3 different stores and they've always been sold out of this. I need this in my life. Ooh, and Ulta's gonna be having Ole Henriksen in Ulta soon. I'm so excited. They just announced it, if you didn't know. This is the Ole Henriksen Vitamin CC stick. It looks a wreck, I know. I love this product. This has worked so good, especially from that springtime through summer for under the eyes. I honestly did a lot of no makeup days this past summer. I was doing a lot of just enjoying my summer, which I feel like this was like the best summer I've had as an adult. So what I did a lot of times, if I was going to the beach or if I was just running around doing errands, hanging out in my backyard, I just literally put a little bit of this under here just to make it, you know, a little bit more put together and polished. And a lot of times that could have been it. Or it was like the most I had done for my face, little mascara and go. I feel like this gave a great coverage. I feel like it also illuminates underneath here. This became a holy grail product for me and it made my under eyes look good. Apparently this is also a time frame when some people were getting a Natasha Denona palette. Your girl did not get that. I did not get this like neutral Natasha Denona palette, so I might be on the hunt for that, honestly. Next, we're gonna be moving into the month of May, and that was when we were being introduced to the triple trifecta. We got the bag, we got the box, and we got the first Icon box. That was replacing the Luxe box. So we had like, we were all on alert. We were like, we want to see what's happening now. We received so many amazing ABH products like this month that I have fallen in love. Love, love, love. And like I said, a lot of the brands right now that I did keep that were my favorites were really great products, really great brands. And I hope you're seeing that so far. So I got two really good lipsticks and I thought I had the right one in front of me, but I don't. I think I actually had it with me in a handbag. And if that's not an endorsement for how good a product is, that lets you know. I think I know where it is. Hold on. Yep, it was in a bag that I have recently traveled with. I am so excited to tell you about it. Actually, I also lost one of my favorite lip liners in one of my bags too because I had recently been traveling. And when you're sick, you kind of like forget where everything is. You're just like, wait, didn't I put it where it was supposed to go? No, because I was getting sick. And then I totally forgot where some of my favorite products were. So I'm so glad that they were safe and sound in one of my favorite new handbags. I actually just got this one from a brand that I am loving. I'm gonna leave the information for my SA for getting this bag down in my comments section. You could definitely check that out. This bag has like a zipper pocket over here, and that's where I thought at first all my makeup was, because that's where I would normally keep it. And I'm kind of not used to having so many pockets in some of my nicer designer looking bags. And then I remembered this particular design has two little pockets over here on the side. And that's where it was, because I really thought I lost this ABH lipstick and I was about to be really upset about it. So when I found out that it was safe and sound in my nice little luxury bag here that I'm obsessed with and cannot wait to carry around like for the spring. Look how beautiful she is. This is just a little side tangent here about how gorgeous this limited edition version of this bag is. Again, if you want the bag, I'll leave it in my comment section below. You can go to the links. Super sturdy, super high quality. I got so many compliments on this bag on my trip. It's just insane because it's so darn good. Also, a girl loves a little sparkle, and there's definitely some sparkle in here. I have shiny object syndrome, as a lot of you guys know, hence the reason we all talk about makeup all the time. But I had to show you guys, that's why I lost one of my favorite lipsticks right now. And if you lose one of your favorite lipsticks, it's like you've lost an appendage. So the fact that I found it in my bag, I'm so happy. I actually wondered if it was in my coin purse at one point because I was searching everywhere in all my luggage, all the things. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Warm Peach lipstick. You guys, it is rare that throughout the history of my time with BoxyCharm, I received a lipstick in honestly a shade that I would use almost every single day. A lot of times I would get a red shade, a burgundy shade, I've gotten purple shades. It's really run the gamut. But this shade is so perfect for my skin tone, my undertone, but also the way I like to do my makeup. It's just one of my personal preferences. And also it's got that nice pink hue to it, so that way it was perfect for that time of year, kind of like spring transitioning into summertime, and the formula is so comfortable. This is the satin lipstick and it is perfect. It is so creamy, so buttery. It also lasts. Like I'm sitting here pressing on it to show you how it doesn't really smudge, but also it lasts through drinking. It lasts through flights. Like when I travel, I don't know what it is about travel, but my face eats makeup. And just in general, but when I'm on a flight, it feels like at the end of a flight, my makeup can look a wreck. So when I find something that will last and do a really good job, to the point I'm losing it in some of my favorite handbags because I've used it that much, it's an endorsement. It just is, it's a favorite. Even putting it on top of what I have going right here, it adds just enough nude pink that it goes with any season for me and the way I like to do makeup. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, so I have two fails in this month and one more favorite. So I feel like I need to like mix and match, go back and forth because one of them I really looked like an Oompa Loompa. Like, wait a minute, isn't Wonka coming out like this month? So I could have auditioned to be the Hugh Grant Oompa Loompa with one of the products that I got, and it was from ABH. Now here's the thing. This is where I got a little annoyed with IPSY. Not so much the product, because the shade that we got was a shade Caramel in this creamy bronzer. I do have some cream bronzers that I do love, so I actually had high hopes for this. Girl, I could not wear down, like work in the product enough to make it look like a bronzer, And I had a tan more than I do right now at that moment. It was May, which is definitely like, I mean, it's unofficial summer here in Florida. So I was like, I have some color to me. What is going on? It was too orange. It was way too orange, but I heard so many people got the shade caramel that I just feel like, I was like, wait, is this just like are they not listening to what our quizzes say as far as colors go? But a lot of you said you got caramel as well. So I'm thinking maybe they only got stock in like maybe 2 or 3 colors, and a vast majority of us just got whatever was somewhat-ish close. Like that was the lightest color they gave out, was caramel. Way too much of an orange base to it, which doesn't go with my neutral skin. I tried, and it had to go. Ooh. So my next favorite though, my next like best of, is also leaning into one of the worst of issues in general this year with the IPSY takeover from BoxyCharm. Are you ready for this? I don't know if you're ready for this because it's a little dramatic. Starting with the product that I love on the best. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Primrose palette. She has a bit of everything, right? She's got eyeshadows for days that could be neutral, warm, and then we've got over here a bronzer and a blush. Although, if they're calling this a bronzer or a blush, maybe this is why their caramel shade didn't work for a single person. Well, maybe a few people, but not a lot, because it's also very, very terracotta orange. Nice mirror, but who knows what I'm about to say is to one of the biggest complaints I had all the rest of the year pretty much following this product. What were we looking for every time we opened a box, you guys? Say it with me. Bubble wrap. How hard is it to wrap some of these things in bubble wrap? Because this baby came shattered. You can see there's pan here, and yeah, I do like this shade, but it's not because I like it so much that I've hit pan. It came shattered. It came broken. Luckily, the formula is so good and soft that I was able to press it back in pretty well. But I was heartbroken that this came broken. It came shattered. And apparently I was not the only one. It's kind of, a thing when it's like shipping, you can't always control. So sometimes it'll happen. Any subscription box. But when it is a corroborated trend that so many people have it because there's no protection in the boxes, or like learn from your predecessor, IPSY. So that started a trend. Unfortunately, that was gonna be on the worst list in general, that we didn't have enough protection with our box products. Look, if you're gonna give us amazing, great products and you're working with these brands, they're partnering with these brands to give us these great products, go the extra mile, do that extra thing so that way it comes intact. Okay, there's one other really bad fail for me in the month of May, and it was this expensive, like $85 skincare item, and it was the Beauty Stat Universal C Serum. So with vitamin C products in general, I need to be a little cautious, just like some other people do, because too much vitamin C can make your girl break out. However, there was multiple issues with this. The pump itself took forever and a day to get any product out, and it wasn't the type of like component you could pop open and get into the product. So the component failing over and over again and you could barely get any product out, that was an issue. Also, the fact that it then broke me out like crazy. No matter how little I used, no matter how I tried to be strategic with placing it, I tried over and over again to make that product work, and it just didn't. And a lot of you actually reached out to me privately to say, hey, warning, I tried this, or so-and-so that I know tried this, and it broke them out like crazy, and I know you have sensitive skin, be careful. Thank you. I love you guys. Because then I felt less alone. I felt less like I needed to keep retrying it if it was gonna break me out. And I feel like that was the moment over the summer that my skin just kind of took a turn, and it was breaking out a lot over the summer, and I think a lot of it had to do with some of the skincare we got. The next month was June. That's how we got to the midway point of the year, and we were starting to form our opinions about what we thought about this whole merge now. And I was noticing a piece of a trend that I was personally receiving in my boxes. Now, I did notice when I would start scrolling through the website, because we weren't getting cards, and it was really, really frustrating for me at this point that I didn't have any cards. So I was trying to scroll through to see what other options there were on their websites. And there's a lot out there, but also it's hard for me right now to see what other people got in their month boxes, because sometimes in that 1 month, there won't be any of the products or very few of the products I received in that month. So I feel like we're still maybe getting some like leftovers from each different brand. I'm not sure because I couldn't find all of my products listed on their website. But something they introduced me to was something I really love, and now I kind of want to try the brand's foundation because I feel like I see it all the time online on social media. Let me know if you've tried it before, because this is the Il Maquillage. This is their eyeshadow palette. There's two going around. I got the one with more mattes and one shimmer. Apparently there's one going around that had like 3 shimmers and 1 matte. I'm really glad I got this version. This is the Color Boss Quad in the shade like range called Workaholic. That's the palette name. I really like this palette. I thought it did a great job. I thought the mattes were really smooth and creamy. I thought the shimmer shade was not only beautiful, but it spreads nicely. I remember the mattes in general being my favorites and being the mattes I would reach for a bunch, even if I was using other palettes on different days. The mattes I thought were really quality, and I like that it was small, so it's great for travel, but it's also a very heavy component. It gives it that extra luxe feeling, and I'm pretty sure this is a pricey brand. So I'm really interested now in trying, now that I've tried this product. It can always be a gateway product that we get something from a subscription box, right? To let us be like, ooh, I do want to try more from this brand. So they have a foundation I regularly see for like perfectly matching skin tones, perfectly matching your skin in general, no matter what your range is. I'm really tempted to try that foundation. If you've tried it, let your girl know. Oh, I'm feeling so nasal. I'll be so glad when I kick this cold. So there was this Beam Babe Beauty like glittery highlighter that I got that I at first was like, ooh, I like the maybe shade of this. I could maybe like the tone. I couldn't get past something that we all know to be a little bit called like the makeup herpes, which is the embedded glitter that was in this highlighter. And at first I really was distracted when I had it on my face with like, oh, how nice it was looking on camera in the light, all of the things. And then I got close to my skin and realized how like tired and worn my skin was looking, because the glitter in it would like fluff different places or move around the face after a while. And I kept getting the glitter right up front where my pores can be pretty bossy. And I just couldn't get past it because every time I would try to use it, the glitter would shift, no matter if I even tried to like pull it to the back. Unfortunately, the glitter baked into it was just such a detractor for me that I had to let it go, unfortunately, and it ended up in my worst category. So this is also the point of the year where I was like, I'm seeing a corroborated trend of so many freaking eyeliners. So many that I can't keep them in my hand. There were so many eyeliners. I ended up, when I got to this point of the year, I realized I had at least one for every month. Now, I got one every month except for, I want to say like May, because I didn't get an eyeliner that month, but the next month I got 2. So I think it was in like a duo pack, probably these Toyco factory ones because there's 2 in a bundle. But I was like, how many eyeliners could we possibly need? And now I've also heard the other side of this where some of y'all were like, you know, I stopped getting subscription boxes and then I started to realize I don't have any eyeliners anymore because maybe you went through them or you decluttered the ones that went bad and you're like, oh, I don't have them all coming in all the time, which thank you for that perspective. That's a good point. But this is the point of the year that I was like, I have one for every month. How many, like that's a lot. That's a lot of repeat category items when you can't go through an eyeliner that fast. So that's why I was kind of like, all right, let's mix it up a little bit here, IPSY Boxycharm. For me, that was kind of starting to be like a little bit of a negative because I was like, I want you to vary it up. If I'm getting majority skincare or at least half skincare in the box, I want a piece of makeup that I can use. Something that's gonna be different from what else you've already given me. Now we're gonna move into July, and that was when it was the first time I have ever seen this drugstore item in a subscription box that I have received. It came in my IPSY bag, but I was at first going, oh, I don't think I've ever seen e.l.f. in a subscription, at least personally for me. I'm sure other people have, but I had not. But this is not only, I love e.l.f. Like for me, e.l.f. is a great product. They have always been that affordable brand. I know they're starting to go up at the drugstore, which is kind of stinking, but everything's going up. But this product is so good. I heard everybody talking about it and it was like on my radar to go purchase, but the fact that it came to me in a subscription box and I didn't have to go get it made me so happy. This is the Power Grip Primer from e.l.f. with like 4% niacinamides in it. And when they say Power Grip, that's not marketing. That's like a true description of how this grips to your skin. It is super tacky, but in a good way. That's how you want a primer to behave. I knew that this was some of my favorite content creators, like holy grail primer that didn't break the bank. And we love that. It's super creamy, easy to put across the skin. It's very slick, but then it grips. Like I can already feel it like gripping when I touch it. So once it kind of settles into the skin, when you put on your foundation, girl, it's not going anywhere. And it's got niacinamides in it, which is also really good benefits for your skin. So when you get something like this from e.l.f., you get so excited. But the fact that I didn't even have to like seek it out, but it was on my radar, I love that it was in my bag. I thought that was an amazing, like great win for an IPSY bag, because I was still on the fence at this point about the bags, because I tend to forget about minis in general, or I feel like it's not giving me enough product to decide if I like something. So this, I feel like, I mean, it's a full size. It's huge. I loved getting that. Huge win. This was also the month that I got the Rhodial. Do you call it Rhodial or Rhodial? I think I've heard it both ways. This is their vitamin C cleanser. I did not think this was gonna work for me. At first I was like, okay, I'm excited. I hope it works. But vitamin C, again, can be really hard on my skin. My skin used to love it and drink it up. And then it just went through this transition that was like, no, it's too much. We can't. But this ended up working out really great for me, really great for Adam's skin. It does great benefits to your skin while cleansing. I tend to use this as a double cleanse too, like after I've gotten the makeup off, I can use this on my bare skin to really like get out the rust and really give the benefits to my skin too. It does help brighten, it does help tighten, and it has not broken me out. So this was a big win for me, and it's a pricier item. So again, love seeing these high value items in our subscription boxes to really make the wins count, really good and like stand out. Now I have another really nice high-end item, and I technically have it in the best category, but part of it is in the worst category. And can you guess why? It's an eyeshadow palette, and it came broken. There was no bubble wrap around this. Yes, they come in their own little boxes, but you could still wrap the box. This is when it got to the point that even IPSY started making commentary on the brokenness. And I'm gonna give you a little tea about what happened behind the scenes with us content creators, because we're gonna tell you when it's broken, you guys. We're gonna be honest about it. And you kept seeing me every month going, where's the bubble wrap? Where's the bubble wrap? Where's the bubble wrap? This is the Natasha Denona Fez palette, and I thought this was really fun. I know this color story might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I love oranges. I love some vibrant colors. I can lean into this so hard. So the fact that one of the shades that I was really excited about was broken, popped out, just such a mess, and you could see it. You can't really fix these. You just gotta be gentle with them, and I definitely know I can't travel with this palette. IPSY ended up reaching out to us and saying, hey, before you film, I don't even know if I ever told you guys this, I got an email that said, like, before you film, let us know if yours came broken and we'll send you another one. I didn't see that email until after I had already filmed it, and I was like, I'm letting you know. It came broken again, and I still use it. I mean, it's not like it's a wasted product, because I'm still going to use this product, but it was to the point that that's also when they started making announcements to, I think, online, and I think that's when they started making announcements in like their emails saying like, hey, if these things are not, I just saw a guy in a motorcycle drive down the road with his Santa hat on. 'Tis the season. Does Santa ride a Harley? So, I mean, this is really when IPSY started reaching out to everyone, you guys and us personally, being like, sorry if it came broken, let us know, we'll do what we can. So I feel like this was maybe the turning point, because when you mess with Natasha, I mean, it was bad enough that the ABH was broken, but when you start messing with our Natasha Denona palettes, you're gonna have an uproar. That was also a month I got more eyeliner. I couldn't tell you which one at this point because they all start to blend together. But let's pump the brakes on the makeup we've already received and give us fresh categories of makeup, please. Next, we're going to be going into August. And I have something in here that some of you won't be able to believe. And some of you, I mean, are probably the reason that I was able to make this product work, because I had no idea that this Anastasia Beverly Hills, we got a lot of that this year, and I'm not complaining. Little Blush was a cream product, right? And I felt like, okay, first of all, the component feels really light. So I think I was more distracted by how the product felt in my hand. And I was like, okay, it's cream, how do I make it work? So when I was on camera working with this product for the first time, I was like, okay, I just hope I can make this work, because I've had stick products that really just do not agree with my pores or move the makeup underneath. So I was just really concerned. And I was so distracted with how lightweight this was that I did not realize until you guys told me it has a brush at the bottom. I did not realize. I did not realize. You guys even told me, you're like, try, if you can't get it to work, try the brush in it. And I'm like, what brush in it? What brush on the other side? What are you talking about? And then I pulled it off and I was like, oh, thank you. This is a blush that I do reach for pretty regularly now. I even traveled with this because what I've started to do way more frequently is put on some of my favorite like base products and then use creamy bronzers and blushes. Who am I this year? I have made some changes. This is probably one of the few that I regularly use though, I would say. So keep that in mind, but I do really enjoy this, and this is a product that I've been able to blend beautifully into my makeup, into my skin. I have used the brush. It's okay. I do still prefer a sponge. Ooh, so I enjoy getting hair care products. I do. However, I'm gonna be a little maybe controversial here, that I don't always love getting hair products though in my like subscription boxes. So that's why I'm glad if we do, it's usually in like the Icon, the Luxe, you know, that next level tier, because it's a little bit more kind of like a FabFitFun where it's like a lot of lifestyle stuff. I wasn't sure if I was even going to use this or if I was going to like it. And this was the time of year in August where I was doing a monthly challenge with my husband, Adam, where we went into the ocean every single day in August. We did an ocean dunk and an ocean swim every day. So my hair that at that time had some highlights in it, so it had bleach in it, it was feeling the effects. So this product actually came in super clutch. I love that it looks like a crayon. Like every time I see it, I'm like, oh, it's a green crayon. This is the Amica Cure Repair Hair Treatment. And you guys, it saved my hair. I was using this in my hair weekly at that point, and I was so grateful to have it because I wasn't always so kind to my hair. I was doing ocean dunks every day, that salt water, I was in the sun. I mean, and then I was mostly just conditioning my hair in between because I'm not someone who even washes my hair every day because of the type of hair I have. So this, game changer. Oh, I didn't mean to save all the bad ones for the end of that. I was just so excited to tell you all the things I was liking, and now I have to tell you the things for that entire month that were fails. All right, now some of you guys are gonna totally disagree with me on this, and I know that. And it's okay, because makeup is subjective, it depends on each person, each style, and I gotta tell you yet again that I got a Violet Voss palette that I did not love. And I know some people love it, you never have issues with it. I wish that was my thing. I have had a few palettes, eyeshadow palettes from Violet Voss that I was okay with. The Berries and Cream eyeshadow palette, I wanted to love. I started out with a little Farrah quad that I got from my mini IPSY from my bag, and I was like, oh, this will be a great start to it. And I was so excited about both of those palettes because I got to the point this year that I was like, I want more color. I know I've been a very nude lover, but these were super colorful, and I was like, yes, give me all the color. And the quad was really choppy, did not blend well, and I was honestly super disappointed in the Farrah mini palette, and I loved their brushes before, so I was really confused. Then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go into this Berries and Cream palette, and it's gonna save the day. It did not. It did not save the day. It actually made things way worse. Some of the shades were decent, and I could like get some spread going, but there were some deeper tones in that Berries and Cream palette that did not work. And they were just super patchy, did not blend. I could see the different layers, but not in like a good way when I was trying to like blend it in. And I spent a really long time on it. I just kept seeing muddiness really all over my eye look, and I'd spent so much time on it that I was like, at this point it should be pretty, and it wasn't even cute, and I'm so sorry to say that. It just wasn't my vibe. I ended up decluttering the Berries and Cream palette and that Farrah palette. I think the hardest part was I couldn't get them to be smooth, and that it just didn't work. Moving into the fall months of September, I got a brand that historically I've not enjoyed, but I really like this skincare, and I'm almost done with it, and it came in a mini form because it was in the bag, and I kind of wish I had it in a bigger bottle, and that's rare for me because this is Earth Harbor. Earth Harbor and I, again, it's kind of like the Violet Voss. there's been a few things I've been able to work with, and some things that just make my skin break out, they're too tacky, they make my makeup patchy. I'm at the very bottom of this. Can you even see how much is left? Like literally droplet. This is the Earth Harbor Marina. How stinking cute is this little bottle? I have used this as like a smoothie in the mornings. I'll put this tiny little guy, because it's very well concentrated, so it's one of those things you have to use lightly anyway, with my OG favorite Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum. I use these as like a power combined smoothie in the mornings on my face. I mix them together. So good. My face is ready for the day. Everything is like prepped and ready to go, and my skin has been so great. And like I said, I have been sick pretty much, and I've traveled with this. So like I have, since I've gotten this, traveled, where my skin does not like to travel. Whose skin likes to travel? Not mine. It will always get dried out. It'll break out, all the things. This did a great job with my normal favorite thing. But then when I got sick, I was like waiting for my face to fall off, because that's when my texture gets bad. My dullness pops out. The dryness comes out with the weather this time of year, and it's been cold here. I'm in a sweater, and I've kept in a sweater, guys, because it's cold. Biome Brightening Ampoule from the Earth Harbor, and mixed in here with this. A great dynamite combo. I'm sad that it's literally almost gone. I use it every morning before I either put on makeup or don't, and it just sets the skin up. It's so good. Ooh, and another palette that I tend to forget about, but when I remember it, I love it. So I feel like I just need to put this to like the front of my rotation. It's the Laura Geller palette. This is the Soft Satin. I think this is just really her Essentials palette. So we have eyeshadows here, and then we have a duo highlighter. I really like this. I'll even use these on the lids as well. These are some really nice shades. I think they're silky. I think they blend really well. They're really creamy too. Super easy to swatch and blend on the hand and on the eyes. I've always loved Laura Geller. Like there's been a rare moment that I've not loved a Laura Geller product, because I mean, look at these dark shades. They're so nice. These lighter ones up here might be harder to see on camera, but they are beautiful. Ooh, that highlighter feels like it's like kind of loose in the palette as far as like the product goes. Look at that bling. I've worn this on the eyes, and it's so stunning. I kind of want to move back all the hair I've got going and just like, ooh, let her live her life even in this video. Look at that. Ah, like boom. Darker one over here, Sensational. Beautiful for the eyes. It's like that nice golden highlight for the summer too. Like, ooh, like she could even just be like a body glow. I just kind of like moved it around a little bit down here. Oof. I'm loving this palette. Super creamy. Love her formulas. But can you guess what the worst part was? You know. If you know, you know. The Starlight shade, the shade I was super excited about, came broken, and I had to press it back in. Again, similar to the ABH. Like I said, it felt kind of loose in the pan when you touch it. It's because it's a nice, creamy, wettish product. So I was able to press it all back in. So I can't even tell that it was broken, honestly. So yay me for pressing it back in and getting it to be so nice back in there. The good news is that was like my biggest worst, was that another palette came broken. But at this point, we're seeing a trend. We've got 1, 2, 3 palettes at least that I remember, that I have in my favorites at least, that were broken. So it's like, learn from your mistakes. This is past the Natasha Denona debacle too. Okay, so October wasn't so great. I just saw what I wrote down, and it's not like that it was like terrible. I mean, things were probably okay, but as far as like stand out worthy of this video that's already long favorites, one thing. I'm gonna give you a second to guess the brand. Go ahead and guess it. I'll wait a second. What's the brand you've seen the most? Out of this box. They must have had a great partnership this year with Anastasia Beverly Hills, because in the bag I got the Lash Sculpt Mascara, and I do really love it. I traveled with this. I like this quite a bit, and I'm picky. I would definitely say I'm picky with mascaras. So the fact that I loved this, such a win. Definitely found that this does the lashes the way I like. They kind of give that false lash effect where they're fluffy, but they're voluminous and they're lengthening and there's some curl to it. The curl I feel like could be a bit better, but we can't ask for everything. I mean, we can, but it doesn't mean we're gonna get it. For the worst product, what I said is more eyeliners. I got more eyeliners. Again, I couldn't tell you if I already kept them, got rid of them. These are the only ones that I know that I've kept from this year. And even this, you guys, I already did declutters this year. I'm gonna have to do another one in the beginning of 2024 because, I mean, we gotta. November is my birthday month. And as you guys know, this past month, I have been traveling. I did a big birthday trip. I just told you about it in my last video. Please be sure to check that out. And if you're to this point of the video, why not? That means you are in it. You really like hanging out with me. So go ahead and hang out with me in the last video where I tried on a bunch of IPSY and BoxyCharm makeup and tell you all about my birthday trip. So it's a get ready with me story time. But I got another one of my favorite lipsticks from Anastasia Beverly Hills. We're not shocked at this point, right? That we're seeing her come up again. She's kind of like the brand of the moment for me, I guess, this year. Usually it's Natasha, but I feel like I was very Natasha light this year. I only got one palette, and I know that there was more going around. I just didn't get them, unfortunately. So again, creators aren't always like the IPSY subscription box BoxyCharm favorites, because I missed out on some serious high-end brands this year that y'all were telling me was so good. So I'm not always the favorite. This lipstick is the same like type as the one I got earlier in the year, the shade Warm Peach. It's the satin lipstick. This one though is more of that nude taupe beige. Is really like well, there's obviously some mauve to it, but more of a brown base to it versus a pink base to it. Love. This one I also traveled with, so good. I have so much stuff on my lips right now, you won't really see it if I put it on, but I feel like I need to because she's so good. I love the like lastability, the smoothie creaminess. I love everything about these lipsticks. Like these are like my top 2 lipsticks right now, like the bullet lippies. These right here. This is also the month that for my birthday, I feel like this was a personal gift to me from BoxyCharm. It wasn't. It really wasn't. I mean, other people got it too. But I got another Murad product, and I'm so excited for this. This one's like really bougie. This one's like, I don't know, 85, 89 bucks. This one is the Rapid Collagen Infusion. This is a product I cannot wait to like start seeing some results with. I'm finishing up, like I said, my Drunk Elephant products, and I didn't want to mix and match too many things. But girl, I have tried it just a little bit to make sure I wasn't gonna break my skin out, and I'm so excited for this. Like this is like, I have as far as like a worst goes for this month, the month of November, a lot of skincare. But if it's gonna be high quality, top tier, expensive products, I'm not gonna be mad about it. I can't be, it's so good. It's something that I didn't know if Adam was gonna like. I thought I would like it because she's Tatcha. She's bougie. I have loved so much from Tatcha. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about the rice wash, but I was hopeful, but I was like, Adam's not gonna like it. He's so picky. I'm not supposed to say picky. He likes me to say he's particular. Okay, he's particular about a lot of things. This, he really likes though. It's a thicker formula. I would definitely say it's thicker coming out. And then when you work it in with water, that's when I feel like it really starts to suds up a little bit, but really like release the dirt, the makeup, the stuff off your face. Cause it feels very dry, thick when you first apply it, but then it really like gets all the stuff out. I didn't know how this was gonna go. But one of these has become my new favorite, and I kind of forgot about the other one, but I think it's the color. I kind of wish sometimes, I don't know, maybe the packaging was a little different or the color was different, because these are some LYS Speak Love Glossy Lip Oils. Now this orange one makes you think it's gonna be orange, right? It's not. It comes out just like, I don't know, peachy toned. I mean, maybe a touch, but nothing, it's more skin tone than anything else. It just kind of like accentuates and juices up the lips. I liked it a lot when I first put it on too, because this was the first one I was introduced to. And then I was like, okay, this one I'm thinking is gonna be darker, and I think I didn't have much on for the lips that day. This one I have traveled with. I brought this one with me to the West Coast. This one does have way more pigment though. As you can see, she's got some pigment, which is why I think I thought the orange one would. But like, this is so beautiful. This is a great topper for literally almost any look I've wanted to do. Like right now, I feel like I'm really liking the nude, and I don't want to go into this berry shade, but this is like, November was the perfect time to get this. It's also super duper comfortable, and it doesn't slide around, as you can see here on my hand. It really grips to the area. With a product like this, you could easily think it's going to be too goopy or slippery, and it is not. This was also the month where I noticed a new trend kind of formed, where it was a lot of lotions had been coming in. Now, obviously, it's winter. This is like the start of the holiday season. You're gonna need lotions. But I think I got like 3 lotions within like that month alone, and I was like, that's a lot of lotion. And for me, I already have some lotions too, so it just felt like a lot of the same thing, like a lot of one-hit notes. And if you want your subscribers, your consumers, to do what we have done in the past, which is have every single tier, bag, box, icon, we need a little bit more differentiation. But again, that could have been just my boxes because there's a lot of options out there. And tell me what you guys got. Did you guys get a lot? Did you get 3 lotions in 1 month? Now I'm curious, tell me. And now for December. December's that time of year where I feel like it's like the grand finale. It's the fireworks, the big booms. Like, what is the standout product of the video I just did for you? I'm disappointed. I hate to end a video like this or like, you know, close out a whole year like this, but they did it to themselves, honestly. I literally have written down in my book, nothing, to be honest. Nothing really stood out to me in December to make it into the best ofs, but nothing really fell into the worst ofs for this month either. It was just, I want more makeup. That's what I wrote. Not a lot of makeup. I want more makeup. So you take the good, you take the bad. But when you go through how long this video is, I mean, that tells you that there were some great highs, but also some lows. Some of it was on products, like the brand itself of the product. Some of it was on IPSY with broken things. But I have to say, I have a few other wins that I want to tell you about. Because once IPSY took over BoxyCharm, specifically in this year, my boxes were coming on the 30th or the 31st or the 1st, like at the very, very, very last moment of a previous month to give me an opportunity to open the boxes, see what's going on, to get my videos up faster for you. I'm sorry, but BoxyCharm never did that. Whether I was a paying subscriber or a content creator getting their PR. And all of this was PR. And I can tell you, I had more time with these products to be able to get a video out for you to know, is this gonna be worth your dollars? Is this worth your time, your investment? And I'm also gonna tell you what I think at year end now. Is it worth your investment? Is this worth your money at the end of a year, now that we've gone through all of this? Looking through everything that I have in front of me, I have to say, I would still lean to the point of the bag is a great entry level. Because once you have the bag, you can add on anything you want. And that's what I know a lot of you guys do, is you either watch my videos to see, is it worth the money? Is it worth the time, the investment? Because, I mean, nothing's cheap anymore and the prices are going up regularly. At least that's how it feels. So you're wanting to know, in this time of like the world and the economy, is this worth your money? I would say, to decide for yourself, start with the bag. The bag is the most inexpensive form to kind of do the entry level, and then you can shop the add-ons and you can get what people are getting in the icons, in the BoxyCharms. You can add them on for a discount, not full price, but for a cheaper item for a cheaper price. So that way you can have Natasha Denona for yourself. You can have the ABH, all the ABH, because we know I got a lot of it that I apparently loved this year. Personally, as someone who has loved BoxyCharm since 2015 is when I started buying them. I didn't have a channel yet. I was just a normal consumer. Then I started my channel and I didn't even work with them for years and years and years. I was just constantly buying the next level when it was like coming up, and really it was so new and it was so fresh and exciting. I know that feeling is a little gone, or at least filtered out a little bit, like fizzled out a little bit. But I will say, in this new IPSY era, I am seeing things in here that are so high quality. We've seen Natasha for a while. We've also seen Elemis, but it's such a good, expensive, amazing brand. But we're getting Drunk Elephant now. Ola Hendrickson. ABH, I know, isn't like the mood that she was back in 2016, 2017, but that doesn't change the fact that the products are still super quality products. They don't put out garbage. So the fact that I have so many things in here from ABH too, that I'm like, oh yeah, it's making them more top of mind for me to see what else is out there. I love getting a subscription box because it does open me up to new things that I thought I was gonna hate. I thought I was gonna hate this Ola Hendrickson under eye, and now I've literally searched for it at 2 or 3 different stores. I'm just gonna have to buy it online. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's opened me up to new avenues of skincare and makeup and hair products because I needed it this year, really did. Do I think there's areas to improve? Yeah, I do think they have areas to improve, which is why I think the bag is a low cost, low risk way to get excited for something every month for yourself, if you are going to treat yourself to something that makes you excited, and maybe you have now not had a subscription for a long time and maybe you're ready to like tiptoe back in, but at your own leisure, so you can be like, I don't need a ton, I just want what I want. Totally fair. Like eyeliners, we had too many eyeliners. Too many. I pumped the brakes on that, IPSY. Pump the brakes. Also, I want you to wrap my high-end products. Wrap them in bubble wrap. Pretend that they're coming to you personally, IPSY. So that is where I land right now on my best and worst of BoxyCharm. Tell me, what were your best ofs? What were your worst ofs? I love to read that because sometimes I don't even know what you guys got. So tell me what it is so I could seek it out myself, and maybe you'll see it on a upcoming video if I don't already have it. Did I remind you of anything that you forgot about? Tell me below. I love doing these videos. I know they're super long, but they are my favorites to do every single year. And hope you like this video. Please, for a Christmas present, thumb this video up for me, share it with your friends, comment below. Any interactions really do help me, especially this time of year, to grow my channel, and I so appreciate you guys. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. I am here with you if you don't love this time of year. You can hang out with my videos, do whatever you need to make you feel good, because I know it's not the best for everyone. And if this is your favorite time of year and you're just now seeing me in January, don't forget we have so many fun things coming, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, friends.